Good morning, everybody, and once again, welcome back. Today, day number 27, and we are starting a new topic which is related to the change management, or you can say extension of change management. But in short, in itself, it is a separate topic which we are going to be covered. Today's topic is mainly on the release management. Maybe we will able to complete this topic today itself because no much depth required in this particular training, but give you an overview that how this release management work. So we discuss that what is release and what is change here. Okay, so if I say in a normal words, in a layman language word, release means when you are deploying a number of changes together for a particular CI or for a particular product, then this is called the release. Like for me, I'm using WhatsApp. You're using WhatsApp. But when Facebook update the WhatsApp, maybe new enhancement they added the payment, they added the photographs. Now they added the file sharing up to 2 GB. When they put all these things together and push to the production, that become the release for me. Okay. My experience, there is a very less customers where I work are using release end to end or fully developed, fully functional release management they're using. Everybody is using as per their need. And also ServiceNow did not provide much on the release management. Means maybe in the incident, if you notice in the change notice there are validations available, but in the release management, there's a no validation available. Before I start, let activate the plugin in the meantime. So I can go here and I can log into my instance. Let's see, do I have, because release management did not come in the out of the box. We had to be activate that plugin. Okay, so now I'll come here. Let's search. No, it's not there. So let's activate that plugin. It's not like incident and change and problem, which is already given by ServiceNow. It is something separate which we as a customer need to be install it. Because ServiceNow says that release is the one model which is not used by number of customers. So why I should give unnecessary to anybody? Release management. This one. This. And it is release management V2. The plugin name also contains the V2 and the role also contains the V2. So now what I will do, I'll put this on the install and we'll discuss the further things in our presentation part because it takes little time. Let it be load completely. OK. So as of now, we are just want to be use the release management, nothing much. So I click on the activate. OK. Now let's come here in the meantime. So the release management says that I am sorry, any question?
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. Is it important and to have release management in our environment?
See, it's totally depend on the business to business. It is important if you ask me because it has its own life cycle and you can club your changes for particular product in a one release. But sometimes it's look like an overhead for the companies because as I said, it is tough to differentiate that what is release and what is change. The work which can be done by release, you can say can be done by the change as well. But practically, these two are the two separate things. Like if I say water and lime water, both are waters. Both have the two different purpose. Water is required when you're very thirsty, but lime water is required when you're in the summer seasons specifically to give you the power, right? But what people say now, who will go home and who, when you reach tired at home, who will make a lime water? Let's have a water and close your thirst part. So it's up to business. But people say that when you're coming from exercise, have a lime water because that will give you the power inside as well. So it's totally business to business, customer to customer, case to case important. In my experience in the last 8 years in service now, I guess only one or max two customers use release management, not much, and not up to that extent that we are using change or incident or problem. No, a very basics one they'll be using it because ServiceNow also did not provide much on the release management. So that is what I'm saying, that it can be smallest topic, can be completed today or maybe tomorrow half, but we need to be understand that how this is related with these things. No practical demo on this part, just a little overview I'll give you on the release part. Okay, Farah?
Okay.
Okay. Now, as incident, change and problem are working with other modules in the same manner, release also working with the other modules. So like for the SRM part. Okay. What is the purpose of this? Via release, we can activate few catalog items. Like say, I am going to be launch a new company or I'm going to be launch a new service in my company. How this can be done? This can be done by release as well. Now you can say, oh, this can be done by change. Yes, it can be done by change as well, but let's not say that this can be done by change. Let's say it is a separate module. So to launch or to update service catalogs, we can use the release management. Incident can be caused by change. Sorry, incident can be caused by release. Same funda which we have for the change management. To update your non-error records, maybe I fix one error. I fix one problem in today's release, so I can update my non-error in that part. We can use changes via release management as well when we are going into the production. For the knowledge management, again, it is an input for the knowledge articles, and for the CMDB, important because we use CMDB to make a plan of the release. So don't put much efforts to understand, sorry, not understand, don't put much effort to go deep dive in this, because from the examination perspective, only few things are important to be understand, that what is release, what is the data structure role, and what are the key components available under that. Okay, so now let's come here and see, is it installed? Yes, it has been installed now. Let's come here. So we saw that what plugin is required to install the release management. Now let's go to the release table.
Atul, a question, please.
Good.
How to know that this module or this module needs plugins to be installed?
Okay.
Yeah.
If it is not available out of the box here in the navigator, then you can check in the plugins. And I guess this question came earlier as well in my one-up training. It's all about experience now. Because I'm working this ecosystem for a long, so I know. And what happens that if it is not available, definitely if it is not available out of the box, it is a plugin required.
Okay, I see.
It can be available on store. It can be available on the maybe in the share as well, or you can check on the community that any plugin required or not.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now let's go in the table and open this part, and we search for a table called release. See, release table is mainly combination of multiple tables. Okay. So how it start mainly? Let me say notepad. Okay. So on the top, it has a okay. Task means again like incident change problem has been extended from task. Same way it has been extended from here. Under task, we have a this thing. Plan task तो नहीं होता. Okay. So there's a one more table under this. Let me see here. This one you can see, right? Plan task. Under task, we have a plan task table like this. And under plan task, I have a release table, which is say RM underscore release. So table, then we have a release underscore task table. Because like we have a task in change, the same way we have a task in release as well. Okay. And then we have a few more concepts. If you see here, these things, these 5 tables come under the plan task table. Yeah, under this one. So it's a task, it's a product, it's a feature, and it is a release phase. Because this one I'm saying. Because it's you can say it's like a hierarchy. Even though if you say the release phase is not extended from the planned task, it has been extended from the task table only. So it should be under this task and phase. Okay. So these are the 5 different terms which are widely used in the release management. Total 7 tables we are going to be used. Task, which we know, plan underscore task, this one, RM underscore release, second one, RM underscore task, RM underscore product, RM underscore feature, and RM underscore phase. Sorry, RM underscore release underscore phase, not phase. This one, release underscore phase. These 5 plus these 2 tables has been used, and these 5 tables are like a module for me in ServiceNow when I talk about the release management. Okay. As I said in the beginning, don't get confused because this is not widely used. Even though when I was doing this training, I thought a lot of things will be given here, but I guess in maximum 2 or 3 slides, this topic get over. Not much. And even though in my exam, only one question came, I guess, and that is again on this table only. That what is the extended table and all these things will be there. Okay, because if you open this plan task, maybe that has been extended from the task table itself. So you can say that how the hierarchy can be work. We come here and we can see. Yes, so you can see it's extended from the task table itself. Okay, so this is the first thing that we need to be understand. Second, as per the standard which we're using is called the role. What roles are available in this particular release management rule? And you can put the word release here. And this is the shortest and smallest one. Mainly these 2 roles has been used, admin and user. That's all. Mainly these 2 are always used in the release management. But ServiceNow say that if you want to give a specific access to a specific user for a specific module, like this thing, for the feature, for the phase, then you can give a specific role as well. So release admin, which can work on anything, which can work on any of the product, any of the module in release management. Release user, who mainly use it. This particular person has a read-only access to modules. Maybe I guess this is also newly introduced, and these rules RM s_read. This is for the table level. They are saying that if I want to access the table level, I can give this. Again, I'm saying it's look like a lot of confusing here, because when I show you the release management, you will say it is nothing. There is nothing much to be discussed. There is nothing much to be detailed. Okay, and if you want to work in release management, this rule is required to the user and this rule is required for the admin. V2 is the mainly one, so they're using the V2 only. These two rules mainly to work on the release management, not much. Okay. Now, if I come here, let's understand these 5 things, because you say that, because I say that these are the 5 tables are important. And this is what we need to be discussed here. Okay, sorry. Because the complete release work on these 5 terms only. The first term says the product. This is the key of the release management. So now if I come here in my instance and let's say I click on the release. Now did you see? I guess before London release, ServiceNow give the visibility of all the modules here, phases, product, task. But after London release, because I have one video on this as well. After that release, ServiceNow remove everything and just keep 2 things, product and releases, nothing much. So if I click on the product, what this mean? As a let's say we are running a company, you, me, and Farah is running a company. Tejas, me, and Farah is running a company, and we are building a product called the payment gateway. Okay. Now, if I want to use the release management, then I have to be define the product first. That on which product this release will be applicable. I'm not saying on the CI. CI are there to support that product, which will come. But product is the overall picture. Like for the Facebook, Meta and WhatsApp are 2 different products. For me, it's an application, it's an app, but for them, it's a 2 different products. And they build the releases around that product. So in this, we have to be defined that what product I'm going to be used, or on which product I'm going to be deploy the or build the release. So this is what my product. So what I can do here, I can click new and I can say ITSM. Let's say LNG ITSM. This is a product for me because I released the complete course on that part. So this is a product for me. Click submit or save. Okay. And product can be anything, can be software, can be hardware. Product can be anywhere. In your house, if you want to renovate your house work as a product. When I say renovate means it includes a lot of things. I want to be redesign my kitchen. I want to be redesign my bedrooms. I want to be redesign my dining. I want to be redesign my furniture. These are the different releases, but the overall product was, or overall product is, my house is the overall product. Let's understand this thing with this concept. Then you will be easily, what I can say, understand. Okay. Now under the product, I have a release. Now, as I say, product can be software or hardware both. If electricity is not working, that considered can be software because you cannot touch electricity. So I said I or my wife said, let's do a rewiring of everything in our house because a lot of wires are outside now. Let's make it as underground. So I'm working on that product and it can be done in the multiple releases. Now, what is the term release means? Release means that something you're going to deploy on a particular product. Either you are extending the features, either you are removing the funny features. Let's say every 6 months, ServiceNow release a new version. If you're following LinkedIn, you're following ServiceNow on the LinkedIn, ServiceNow has a planned session of 3rd of August where they're going to be demonstrate the Venture, the next release which is coming in the picture now. Overall product is ServiceNow and the release is Venture. Under that release, they have multiple features. So if I say what is the meaning of the release? Release is a combination maybe of the features which are going to be deployed with the help of the changes. Because in the changes you're going to be build that features. Add button, remove button, T-list button, X button, Y button. Those are coming from the changes. In the release, nothing has been done majorly. Release is a combination of changes. So actual work is done on the change level only. Okay, this is what called the release. Now, if I say, or let's say, my wife say, Atul, let's renovate the house. I cannot start everything in a one go. I call plumber, I call electrician, I call whitewash person, I call the decorator person. I cannot work in this manner. What I will do, I will divide this in the phases because it's required money as well. So generally what happens that when we purchase a new flat, like when I purchased my new flat 3 years or 4 years back, it is not that I'm moving to the new house, so I'll do everything now. I divided in the phases. Okay, let's go for the living room interior first. After 2 months, when this work has been done, we'll take another rest, we'll collect some more money, and then we'll go for the second phase for the furniture part. These concepts are called the release phases. Release phases are important to understand. That where my release at point of time. That we will discuss in depth when we go in the more part. But for the conceptual part, just understand this term. Then the fourth term come the feature. So now if you see here, let me come back. I'm intentionally going the previous one. Let's open this thing, XP. So under that, I have a release. Okay, so now I have multiple releases as well. Like this. So I open this release. Under the release, I will have the C. Under release, I have a sub release as well. Under release, I can have a phases as well. Design phase, build phase, deployment phase is going on. Let me pick up something good example where I have the phases as well. No, they are not giving anything. So under this, we have a phase. Let's say if anything is coming out of the box, I'll show you. No phases are given by service now. Okay, so phase is like that, which we will discuss that how this planned stuff is going in the production. Like I say, when the WhatsApp has been launched, it was not launched the way we are using now. It has been launched just for sending the messages. It was a phase 1. In the phase 2, they release that you can send the images as well. In phase 3, they releases that you can send the videos as well. In phase 4, they release that you can take the image and video from the WhatsApp itself. No need to go to the camera. So these are the phases. But in the feature, like if I say sending an image is a feature, sorry, it's a phase. But in that, what feature I'm giving? You can send image, you can remove image. You can send 5 images in a one go. That is a feature I'm building it. So feature represent the individual change you're doing to enhance, to customize, sorry, to enhance, to update, or to remove that particular functionality. Like in the Utah release, ServiceNow mentioned that we are going to be remove XYZ products or the feed or the applications from our release now. They can do just in a one go, but they inform it that by June or by July mid, you need to be start removing out this product so that we can take it out, or no support available after that. If you want to use, you can use it, but no support available after that. This is what the features. Like I said, renovate the house. I am doing decorating the interior for all the 3 rooms is a phase. In that feature is that I want some good vibrating colors. I want a good background in the wall. These are the features I'm adding. And at the last, we have a release task. So maybe if I go back again, let's see if I have a get task somewhere. Number 6. Let me open number 6. Because sometime in the release itself, we have a release task. So you don't will find anything here. Let's say under this, do I have this thing? No task is there. Okay. So task is the smallest part. Like we have in the change. In the same manner, we have a task on the this level as well. Okay. So now this is what the 5 major concepts which want to be discussed. Now, one thing which is important. Let's say I'm going to the product. And let open this product. Atul, I want to see that how this product has a release map. What are the other components map here? So ServiceNow provide me a product hierarchy here. And you can see. This is my product. This product had these managed releases. This release has a sub release. So this says I'm going in the June. In the June, I'm going to release X, Y, and Z features. Under that, you can create a task as well. So like this, we can do feature 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can give that part. This functionality is not available in the change, but available in the release management that you can see the features as well.
Atul,
go ahead.
And how we can obtain this hierarchy? It's related to what? It's a result of something that we configure before, or how we can have this map, let's say this hierarchy for our product. Yeah.
So okay. So this complete mapping has been done by system itself. Okay. So when I create the product, under product, I have a releases. Okay. Now if I go here, let's say number 6. There's a feature called, or there's a release called 31. Let's say open this. Under this release, I have a features as well, I'm sure. Let me add this related list. This one. Feature. Okay, and let me say task. Release task. This one. And let add this. Because in the hierarchy it was string, but here the related list was not available. So now you can see. This has a 3 features. So when you create a release product under release under feature under task, this hierarchy will come automatically. So this is a feature here.
Okay, I see.
And if you open this feature, then you can see maybe any related list available or not. You can check here. and add. Because there's a no task, so it's showing 0. If I get anything out of the box, let's create a new task here. Okay, and state is open and submit. Now, if I go back to release number 31, so that now you can see. This one. Now, if you click on this one hierarchy, it is easy for understand. So now you can see this feature has a this as well. If you put the phases, then phases should map with the feature and features should map with the task.
Okay, I see.
Okay, this is what is important here to understand this part, that how this has been working. Okay, this one. Now, these 5 concepts are equally important, no doubt. Okay, but we need to understand a little bit more about the component level. And I'm talking about this thing. When we work on the release, these 3 are the major components: input, planning, and deployment. And release is not like that today you create a release and tomorrow you are going to deploy. No, releases are created well in advance. Release means that you are launching a product, you're enhancing the product, which is applicable for the 2 years. Like take the example. ServiceNow say I want to be release Windows XP. Do you think that Windows XP can be done in a 1 day? It is a phase-wise release. So WhatsApp is still releasing the products. Sorry, still releasing the updates. Why? Because they're enhancing it. After a month, after 2 months, they're enhancing and they're pushing to the production. To do this part, these 3 things are important. Number 1 is type of release. It is a major release or it's a minor release. Major means a very big features, a very big enhancements going in the production system. It's called the major release. Generally, where I work in the release management, my customer have only, I can say, 1 major release in a month. That is at the end of the month, a major release where incident change or where the changes from the multiple teams are going in the production. On ITSM, GRC, ITOM, ITBM, all the things are going in a production in a day 1. That's called the major release. Minor means small changes. Maybe 5-10 changes can be considered as a minor one. And that can be done twice in a month, 1st and 15th. Or 10th and 20th is the minor releases and major release only on the last week of the month. Okay, then we have a release calendar, which we just discussed now. Changes can be deployed anytime, but if you are sending the changes via release, it should go with a proper calendar. And this has been published for a complete year. That guys, every 4th Friday we have a major release. If you want to send anything majorly, please make sure your changes get approved and ready for release or tag for the release for this particular time period. Okay, and then the process include your phases, that you are in which phase, who is going to be do what work. Because for the release, we have to send the communication as well to our management. In the release, there can be a downtime. There cannot be a downtime. It's depend. So if you start working with your customer on the release management, then you will see these things very easily and you can understand this very easily. But for the time being, let's understand that it can be like a phase-wise release or a task-wise release, or you can say milestone-wise release. In the beginning, I told you that guys, we are going to be complete this training. when the change management was completed yesterday, it was a milestone release. Guys, 80% syllabus has been done. We are doing this. So now if you don't go for this far, basically, this training is in the 5 or 6 releases. In the first release, we understand the basics. Second release, we understand the incident. Third release, we understand the problem. Fourth, we understand the change. And now we're discussing about the release management. This particular session is a minor release because it is not going to be impact much on you. Minor enhancements, but last 7 days was a big major release because every day is important. Every concept was important to understand. This is what this do. Now, if you want to do a good release management, then you should have a good inputs as well. Inputs means the stories, user stories, your changes should be well defined and follow in a proper manner. Let's say in one of my customer, I guess 4 or 5 years back, they have a rule that if you want that your story should go in the production at the end of the month, you have to make sure that the associated change should get completed 5 days advance before the release start. If it is on the 6th day, sorry, you have to wait for the 1 month now. So this is what the inputs are required. Mainly the release is easy to understand, but little tough to be managed because multiple things are there. And you have to be use the right process. Like, as I said that the time period is very important. Any changes which is risk level low can be go in the minor. Any change which is risk level high cannot go in the minor. Always go in the major release. Even though impact is very low, but still, if it is defined in the system, it's a high risk. It will go in the major release only, not the minor one. And then finally, the deployment. This is what the actual thing come in the release is a deployment. We build what we build actually. See, these are two things. One is a change team, one is the release team. Change team is basically build the small changes and put all the XML or required code in a place. Release team build the package that these 6 changes can go in a one package. These 6 changes go in the second package. These 6 changes go in the third package. They build it and they review it. Because maybe for every release you have to be arrange the end user trainings as well. For every release you have to be updated documentation as well. This is what I said, right? If you see, release has a direct impact on the knowledge articles. Because if I am releasing it, let's say tomorrow WhatsApp release a new feature. Then how to use that? I have to be update the knowledge article. For our smiling, Atul, come on, we are so intelligent. We never go in the WhatsApp FAQ or never go in the WhatsApp manual. But it's you. Take example of the user who's sitting somewhere in the village and he know about this feature and want to know that how to use it. So in this phase, they build it. They do the packaging part. I work as a release manager as well. Approximately 7 or 8 years back, approximately. So we did the complete build, then we test it. Like the change has been tested in the lower environment, the same we build has, release also tested in the lower environment. And then finally, we go for the deployment. These two things work hand in hand. If deployment fail, maybe the planning also wrong. If planning fail, then chances of deployment can be fail. This is what the major concept of this release management here. We still have any question before I proceed further? Any doubt, any question?
No, at all, it's clear.
Good. Now let's come here. And this is the last one. Done with this. After this, we're done with the release management. That's why I say it's small one. The release, basically how the release is bind with the ITSM. In the release planning, we mainly work on the changes, that what changes are going, like high risk, low risk kind of things. In build and test, we see definitely we use a change, but in the build and test, we mainly use the configuration management, that what CIs are going. Do they have any impact? Do I have any restart activity? Do I have any patching activity? Do I have any kind of upgrade activity on those CIs? If deployment fail, it create a problem. And finally, when I'm reviewing and closing, I'll raise the incident. So mainly it should be like incident to problem to change. Like this, it should work.
Could you repeat
Yes.
this one, please?
Okay. Under the release plan, we define that what and how many changes are going in a production. It's like, as I say, take example, low risk changes, high risk changes, priority 1 changes, priority 2 changes, kind of things we done on the release planning itself. When we move from the release plan to build and test, under that we take a consideration that how many configuration item is going to be impacted, like a next level of the change, because change has been raised on what? CI. And when I'm testing it, I should make sure I bundle the changes in such a manner that it should not impact any other CI.
Okay.
And when we go for the deployment, we make sure that these releases are target proper environment. Like deployment means I'm deploying in the beta environment, I am deploying in the UAT environment, I am deploying in the test environment. And in case any problem occur, we have to be reach out to these teams. Okay. And then finally, when I'm reviewing and closing it, release fail, like change get passed and successful and unsuccessful, in the same manner we can say release is successful or unsuccessful. Even though no proper way to identify that part in ServiceNow, but it provides a little functionality about the same in the system. Okay. Clear? Give me a minute. Let me share my screen again just to give you more things on that part. So I'm stop sharing my screen and I come here. If I get by any chance. Okay. Because there is a sheet available with me which I generally use to understand this part. Let me see. Give me a minute, guys. That will be little. Not this. Not this. Yes. Got it. Good. Where it is gone? This one. Okay. Let me share my screen again. Here I go and click on this. Okay. So generally, how this release look like? Mainly the question come up. What is the origin of the release? The origin of release is mainly come from idea. I was sitting, I done my ITSM and I got an idea. Why not I take a training on this? This become idea for me. Okay. When this become idea, then I reach out to you guys. Okay, guys, tell me how many of you are ready to attend this training? the responses which I get is become a demand for me. I have a stakeholder who are interested. I done some assessment, how much time it will take, what agenda should contain, how when I'll take this attendance, what the fees can be done, how many students will be there, how the practical can be done. All these things I do the assessment here. And I discuss with my wife as well that I want to take this training. She said, do you have this much time? I said, yes, I can take it. Means it is fully approved here. Right? And then it become a project. Project means it become a release for me, where I added the stories that how and on which day or what day I am going to be complete what topics. I start adding the epics. Means I start using this agile methodology. Like if I say 1 hour, our sprint is for the 1 week, because generally in a 1 week we complete the one topic. Incident 1 week, problem 1 week, change 1 week. So this is what these are the part of the release management only. Okay, but the question come, Atul, is release or the origin of release is always idea? No, it's not like that. It's not like that. The origin of release can be your existing work as well. I'm sharing this knowledge with you, and I realize, no, I have to be enhanced. To enhance more in your knowledge area, let me add few more things in the agenda. It means it is not always necessary that for the release, the origin is always an idea. The origin for release can be your existing services as well. I want to improve my batch. Let's say I talk to Samira, I talk to Farah, I talk to Tejas, I talk to Surbi. Guys, how to improve? You guys give me a lot of ideas, and I added those ideas in my current release itself. That okay, next week this thing will be happen. Next week I'm adding this particular feature as well. Next week I'm adding this particular story as well, so that you guys can get more on that particular part. This is what the way to tell you that it is not always the idea. It can be your incident. It can be your problem, which can take you down enhancement level, and then you raise a change, and then change become a release for me. To renovate the house doesn't mean that you always buy a new house. You already having a house or living in that. To enhance that, you can raise the release. Or if you're buying a new house, then you can follow this method. Then the enhancements which come, you can map that enhancement with the project. So you can take that enhancement as an idea, it go to demand, it become a project. Again, it's depend from business to business that how they want to be take care of this part. Okay. Now let's do a quick run through of the release demo. A small run through of the release demo, even though nothing much to be discussed on that part, but still we can have a look. Let's come here and open the releases. This is our product, and under that product I'll raise one release. Click on the new. Okay, so I can say release type, major, minor, upgrade, emergency, maintenance, patch, up to you. Mainly we use major or minor. I said it's a major release. Priority is critical. Short description. Experimental batch 1. Okay. State is draft. Release phase. I am at point of time requirement gathering. Before I reach you guys, I'm doing this part only. And I put the detail. I say I'll start the requirement gathering by this particular date to this particular date. Now the problem is that ServiceNow did not provide any kind of a validation on this part. I guess I can go back on the previous date as well. It did not give you any error. This is what customer did not like much because there's no enhancement has been done on that part. But let's go in the practical format and I'll put this thing 28th July. This one. Okay. And I click on the save. So we have a product, we have a release. Now under the release, I can create, and it's not under, it is the parallel that this release have a release phase as well. What phase it has? Let's say it has a phase called paperwork. Because I have to be complete this requirement gathering. So I'm the first phase is called the paperwork. Let me prepare my agenda. That what I have to be covered in that part. And I can click on the submit. Now under this release, if I open this, I can add a task as well. Like we have a change task, we have this thing called the RM task, R task. Paperwork, and what is the requirement here? In the task, get the Excel download. This is the one task and click on the submit. I can build if I go back here. So now the problem is, did you see? There's nothing way that I can go back here. There's no parent record has been given, which I click and I can go back. Maybe if I change the view, I can find, but it only one view only. So these things ServiceNow need to be improved now. If they want that customer should use. So now I have nothing way. I click here. I'll go on the release. Where is my release gone? This is my release. And now I can create the feature here under this. Feature is that. What is the new feature I'm adding? And under the feature, you have to give the CI, that on which particular CI this record is going to be deployed. So I said under this, I am saying ITSM functional is my feature I'm adding. Functional is my feature and click on the submit. Okay. If you think or if you say that no, this release must have few changes, you can map it here. I can add the task here. What is the change number? Like this, you can add. Submit. If you want to add any incident, you can add it. Problem, you can add it. Scrum story you want to add, you can add it. Epics you want to add, you can add it. Defect you want to add, you can add it. But the major problem statement is that these are not interrelated. Like if I go here, I know that I have a release phase as well. I have a feature as well. I have a change as well. But if I go here and make it as a close, let's say closed. No validation given by ServiceNow here. It's marked as a close. That's all. I gave a demo to one of my customer. And they did not like it because out of the box ServiceNow did not provide any kind of a validation here. So a lot of work need to be done. But yes, it is a solid platform. It is a solid application which can help you to make sure your releases, your changes go in a smooth manner. If you go here, if it has a view. Okay, they remove the view as well.
Atul?
Yes, Tejas.
One doubt. We can build some business rule here, like the ticket cannot get closed. We can do that, right?
But only when if you understand the release management product very clearly. Okay. Because if you see here that these all are the interrelated terms.
Correct.
Business rule is only one term. Let's not say business rule. You can say that we can put some validation. We can do some configuration to enhance this product. Maybe you can say, okay, let's say I want to implement the release management for my customer. If I give like this, they will not be happy because any user can do anything here. So what I'd say, okay, guys, remove everything from here. You have only release phases of the feature. Just remove everything from here. I'll give you this thing in the phase 2. We will enhance it. Then I'll give you in this phase 2. And if I go here for the dashboard, I'm not sure that it's provide any kind of a dashboard as well. Let's see. All end release. No, there's no dashboard is given by ServiceNow out of the box on this part. So nothing is there. Maybe that is one of the reasons that customers are not using it up to the extent, because if I have to do a lot of work on the release to put validations, to put configuration, then why I'm buying ServiceNow? At least in the change, in the problem, in the incident, I have minimum validations that assigned to cannot be empty. Closure code is must when you're closing an incident, resolving an incident, resolution code, sorry, not the closure code. Change code is closure code in the change is must when you're closing any change. But those things are not available for the release. Multiple reasons can be there. Maybe ServiceNow bringing more features, more enhancements in the upcoming releases of service in the ServiceNow. With this, we have done our release management complete here, guys. Small topic, not in the depth. Only these things you have to be remember if you're preparing for examination perspective. These things, mainly these definitions and the admin part, and just inputs and planning and deployment. These are the major things. Nothing on the demo part. It can be asked, or it can be asked anything. But from my side, this is what we need to be covered in the release management. Any doubt, any question, any clarification you can ask here.
No, it's clear for me. No.
It's interesting, right?
Yes, fine to know it. Great.
Smaller and interesting part. That's
Good
the
to
thing.
know. Yes.
Good to know, right? It is mainly good to know, because if you go on my channel, you will find the release management. It was very old. I guess 2 years back I created the video. And that time first time I explored this particular product. That okay, how this is working, what is the functionality available on this part. That time the products or the features was available here as well. You can see feature, product, phases, everything. But now they removed only 2 things, product and release. That's all. Okay.
Okay.
No, but don't spend much time on this.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, let me stop the recording and we'll take a quick attendance now.